there's a lot of pieces here. You've got growing up in Florida, you got Tom Petty, you've got Yale, you've got pastoring a church when
Don't
you're
forget the
not a
Dodger
pastor.
shortstop. Don't
You've
forget
you've got the Dodgers, you've got um,
that.
is the string that ties it all together, or one of the themes that ties it all together, is it this missionary evangelist thing and just being open to going, doing, being whatever it is God is calling you to?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't like routine, and I always have a little bit of restlessness about me that Anita doesn't have, so she balances me out really well. Um, and we moved a number of times when I was a kid, and so I kind of got used to that. And so the openness to doing what God wants me to do and going where God wants me to be is sort of that's actually been fairly easy for me. That's kind of been the easier part because it kind of it fits me better. And he's given me the opportunity to do some really, really extraordinary kinds of stuff. I'm just so yeah, I don't know. I guess I hadn't thought about that before, but that's really kind of been at least since I was 20 something, it's been sort of the connecting thread. I know a lot of folks don't get it because it has probably been a little unconventional compared to regular folks, I guess. But it really has been if I'm going to say yes and I'm going to leave something that I like, um, I really believe there's something at stake here. I believe heaven and hell are real. I believe there's something really at stake here. Um, I don't want to be half-hearted about it. If I'm going to go, I'm going all in. Otherwise, I'm not going because
Mm.
this is what I was prepared for, this business life and that kind of stuff. So I, so it really hasn't been that hard. Some folks would say it was crazy. Some folks would say it was courageous. I don't know. Who cares? I mean, I've just tried to kind of do what I feel like God wants me to do. Um, the harder part hadn't been me. The harder part's trying to explain that to my wife and kids and my mom.
Looking back, it looks like that God has used the restlessness and probably even given you the restlessness to help
Yeah, I
navigate the
totally agree.
path.
Yeah.
Was there a time where you felt the restlessness needed to be fixed?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Yeah, I think I still have moments like that where I a lot of people in my life, I don't know if a lot of people in life are like this or if it's just people around me. A lot of them, not all, um, have lived in the same place and do the same thing. They've had the same job for a long time, whether they've changed companies or, whether they were an electrician for different people, whether they were still always an electrician or whether they went to the same insurance agency every single day for 40, 50 years like my father-in-law did. I could never do that. Um, and that's not good or bad. It's just that's who God made me to be. But sometimes when you're surrounded by folks, you go, "Am I missing something here?
Mm.
Am I missing something?" Um, but I think I'm okay with it.
We live in a culture obsessed with, you know, wants. This
Mhm.
is what I want, you know. Nowhere in our conversation have I heard you say, I wanted to. Um, where does what Alan wants and what Alan needs fit into all of this?
I don't really have an answer for that one either. I think 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I probably had a lot more pride and ambition. And I mean, I don't want to make it sound like, oh, I'm just sort of this perfectly obedient servant of God, because I mean, we all have different motives for what we do and why we do it, and it's not always one motive. And I mean, I think I was very driven. Um, I think where I am now is the church needs our help. It doesn't really matter what I want. It's what does God want and what does the church need. It's not, well, here's what I have to offer the church, so I'm going to offer to the church. I mean, that's nice, but right now the church needs help. You know, we've had all the scandal stuff. We've lost. I mean, statistically, it says we've lost 90% of our kids. Southern Baptists lose about 50% of their kids. Mainline Protestants, Methodists, Presbyterians, Lutherans, and then also Catholics lose about 90% of our kids.
Mm.
So we've lost a generation, maybe two, maybe three. We come through COVID where a healthy parish has 80% of its attendance from pre-COVID. Some of the other parishes have 50% of their, so we've lost another. So the church needs help, and it's really, it's not about me at this point. I mean, it doesn't matter what I'm good at or what I want or what I think I need. I'm not sure that anybody ever really is good at trying to say, here's what I need. Well, maybe it is, maybe it's just what you want, but um, it really it's about God. It's not about me, and it's not about now, as Rick Warren would say. It's not about me. It's not about now. It's all about God. And it's all about eternity. And so the church needs our help. Um, and I want to do what the church needs, not what I feel like I want to do for the church. Um, Not that I'm necessarily always a good discerner of that, but trying to do what the church needs and having it be about that as opposed to about Alan.